We all want to garden smarter, not harder, right? This is why many of us choose to garden with raised beds. Raised beds provide increased control over garden design and soil quality, as well as reduced weed growth, enhanced drainage, improved visual appeal, and significantly easier access. But raised bed gardening is not something you can dive right into. It is quite common to inadvertently commit a handful of raised bed blunders that might throw a wrench in your gardening plans. Hi there, this is Amy from Gardening Know-How, and I'll admit it, I have personal experience with this. I wish I had taken a bit more time to research before diving headfirst into my project. So, with my own expertise and insights gathered from fellow gardeners and gardening know-how experts, we've put together a comprehensive list. Let's dig into the top 5 raised bed gardening mistakes you'll want to avoid. The first often overlooked aspect of raised bed gardening is selecting the right location. Getting it wrong from the start can lead to countless challenges down the line. Let's start with sunlight. Sunlight is, of course, crucial to plant growth. You'll want to select a site that receives at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight per day. You may even want to take note of the sun's path throughout the day and find a location that provides your plants with the light they need. It is also important to take into account the nearby trees and the shade they may create during various times of the day. Next is water. Convenience is key when it comes to watering your garden. Ensure your location is close to a water source or within reach of a garden hose. This makes daily maintenance much easier and encourages regular watering, which is crucial for healthy plant growth. If you're building beds right atop native garden soil, a well-drained location will be essential. In case your chosen spot lacks proper drainage, don't worry, I delve into specific types of raised bed systems that can address this issue in the following section. Consider your own accessibility as well. Opt for a location that's easy to reach and work within. This can be especially important if you have mobility issues or anticipate carrying tools and equipment to and from the garden. And finally, you have the not-so-fun task of checking on local regulations and the permits required for building raised beds in your chosen location. It's always a good idea to ensure you're in compliance with any local ordinances before beginning your project. The second common mistake in raised bed gardening involves selecting the wrong building materials. All good things come at a price, and it is best to weigh the pros and cons of wood, metal, and any other type of material you may be considering. This is where I went wrong. I found a great deal on ready-to-assemble raised bed kits from my local warehouse club. Unfortunately, I didn't research the type of wood or the quality, and as you can see now, they are not holding up and will need to be replaced. This doesn't mean that wood isn't an excellent option for building raised beds. You have many options to choose from, including pressure-treated wood, untreated wood, and rot-resistant wood such as cedar. The choice to use treated lumber in gardening sparks controversy. While it offers durability and longevity, there is potential for chemical leaching into the soil and possibly affecting your crops. Although the risk of leakage is typically minimal, many gardeners choose to incorporate a barrier between the wood and the soil as a preventive measure. Just remember that nearly all wood that's in contact with the ground, treated or not, will not fare well in the long run. Some rot-resistant species like cedar and redwood will certainly last longer, but a good practice is always to try to create a barrier of some kind between the ground and the wood. Metal is another strong candidate for raised beds. Often made from materials like galvanized steel or aluminum, metal beds are known for their durability and longevity. Not only can they provide a sleek and modern appearance, they are also known to be relatively low maintenance, requiring minimal upkeep compared to wood. Metal beds are also a good choice for those with wet soil or drainage issues. Plus, the metal construction is also known to deter pests and burrowing critters, protecting your plants from potential damage. This is Liz, the senior editor here at Gardening Know-How. She recently replaced her entire front yard with metal garden beds, and she couldn't be happier. Before beginning on her project, she wisely opted to have the soil tested. The soil analysis revealed concerning levels of lead, leaving her with no alternative but to construct a raised bed garden above her native soil. Plus, her space was limited and oddly shaped, making modular metal raised beds the best choice. You can learn more about the right raised beds for you by visiting gardeningknowhow.com. Selecting the right size, shape, and height for your raised bed garden is a pivotal decision that can significantly impact your gardening experience. Any mistakes in the beginning of construction can end up costly in the end. Not only will your layout need to allow for efficient use of the allotted space, but the size and shape of each bed should be tailored to your specific needs and preferences. Beds that are too low or too high can be inconvenient to work with and potentially strain your back. You'll want to aim for a soil depth of at least 12 to 24 inches in a raised vegetable garden, as that is the minimum space needed for good root development. In terms of width, raised beds are typically created to be around 3 to 4 feet wide. This width allows for easy access from either side, making it convenient to plant, weed, and harvest without stepping on the plants. However, if you have limited space or want to create a more compact garden, narrower beds can also be effective. Avoiding the mistake of selecting the wrong soil for your raised bed is another pivotal decision. Incorrect soil can result in problems such as inadequate drainage, nutrient deficiencies, and reduced yields, ultimately impeding the success of your garden. Providing an exact soil mix recommendation isn't straightforward, as the best choice largely depends on what you plan to grow and may vary from one situation to another. Generally, starting with a mixture of soil, compost, and organic matter is an excellent approach. So if the label on the bag indicates garden soil, it should be a suitable option, correct? Not exactly. Garden soil, along with compost, should be added to existing in-ground topsoil to improve texture. But this isn't the best choice for beds that are raised above the soil. Look for bagged or bulk soil specifically designed for raised beds. These formulated soils provide optimal plant growth, offering a balanced blend of nutrients, aeration, and moisture retention. And lastly, avoiding the mistake of not companion planting in your raised bed garden can significantly benefit your garden's health and yield. Companion planting is the art of arranging different plants to encourage mutual growth, deter pests, and attract beneficial insects. For example, planting basil near tomatoes can not only enhance their flavor, but deter common pests as well. Nasturtiums can deter cucumber beetles and aphids, providing natural protection for your cucumber vines. By selecting plant pairs that complement each other's growth and nutrient needs, you can achieve higher yields and healthier crops. You'll also want to plant taller crops at the back to avoid shading shorter ones in the front. For more information on companion planting the garden, see the link in the description for a guide on companion planting with herbs and other edible plants. And there you have it, the top 5 mistakes to avoid when gardening with raised beds. By steering clear of these pitfalls, you'll be well on your way to a healthy and productive garden. If you found this video informative and helpful, please subscribe for more tips from the Gardening Know-How team. And if you have any additional tips for raised bed gardening, please share in the comments below. Thank you for watching and happy gardening!